think, I know many groups have tried over the years. It's a very difficult tale to tell, I think, cinematically. It's very poetic and symbolic, and nothing is concrete in that as you need a film to be. So I think deciding sort of what's the way in was probably the greatest challenge.
I think for this movie also taking Elsa and giving her a relationship with Anna, making them siblings, really helped open up the movie and certainly gave us a key into the emotional journey that both are going on.
Oh, we can't say.
Yeah.
All we can say is that in Frozen, we really look at true love, and we look at it in a different way. The theme is really sort of the power of love over fear, and in that, we sort of tell it through a family. But a part of love is always romantic love, and we like to think that we maybe take a little
and just
turn
like
on
in
that.
real life, there are different options, right? That we all can choose from when we're in the world, and not everyone. People are much more complex, I think, than we first realize.
I always think there's a place for Prince Charming. I think that one of the things we do in this film is look at a different place for Prince Charming. I have to say not at all for me, because I came to Disney on Wreck-It Ralph, and half my story crew were women. Disney, a lot more women are going into animation, so I was sort of none the wiser. And then it was a few months after I was director that they said I was the first woman. And I just said, well, I hope it's a sign of things to come. I had a lot of fun in the film. I do think being a woman, I was able to, push a few things.
Surprisingly enough, it was the male characters.
Yeah. I sort of kind of looked a little bit like, that's not what we want to see. Let's push them. And got a lot of laughs in the room, and so it was actually the things that were different were always funny things.
Jen, even while she was working on Wreck-It Ralph, had always given great notes on the movie, so much so that we asked her to come on board to write the movie, and it became very clear that both Chris Buck and Jen had the same vision for the movie, and although they had different sensibilities, they worked really, really well together, and it was very easy to think of them as equal co-directors.
Chris and I joke that we've never fought, but we actually have never fought.
Yeah, I don't
still.
know.
Well,
maybe once or twice.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
but it gets resolved
Did I
very
win?
quickly.
Then I wouldn't remember.
Like you
No.
say, you always come up with a third solution that's even better than what the two were originally talking about. So.
Yeah. What's fun is Chris Buck actually, he's a fantastic animator, and instantly said, gosh, I'd love to do a snowman who could fall apart and put himself back together, and it's like an animator's dream. And I, of course, was the tough one who said, yes, but he has to belong in the film. He can't just be a sidekick. So I pushed really hard on the story to say, what is Olaf's role? And I think when we were looking at love versus fear and that moment when the little girls build an Olaf, a sort of non-magical version, and that he represents that innocent love. And when we did that, so when Elsa makes the magical Olaf, he has that same personality of an innocent child. We had so much more fun with him. And then he sort of came alive.
What I love about that character is not only does he bring a lot of comedy to the film, but because of that, he also brings a lot of heart.
Sven was so fun for us because when we first were exploring reindeers, we said, what do they like? How do they think? And we met some reindeers in person. We brought them to the studio, and we said, now, let's see, are they as smart as cows? And the handler said, almost. And they don't do much. They do sort of scratch their ears like dogs a little, and we started playing with sort of man's best friend. But we wanted to do something really different where it's a Disney film. He's not a talking animal. We have a talking snowman. And some of us talk for our pets, give them voices. And Chris Buck does, yeah. And I don't. But that was really the inspiration to say, what if, Kristoff talks for him? And you can sort of read with the great animation what Sven's really thinking. So we had a blast.
Yeah. No. It had a good home already.
Yeah.
What I love about Disney animation is, we have so many, it's like different palettes to choose from. So we've got great hand-drawn animators, we've got great CG animators, and they have a great collaboration. So in animation, for instance, we had Mark Henn, who is a great Disney 2D animator who worked side by side with our animation team and was there doing draw-overs to really make sure we get the best animation possible. Also in our effects department, we had many animators who came from the 2D world who helped us stylize the movie, particularly Elsa's magic.
Yeah, that in the final two, there's a good bit of Elsa's magic that's actually hand drawn, and built from that. And I think what we say is one of the things we knew about this film is we wanted to do a CG version because Chris and I felt we wanted to be very visceral. We wanted, from the minute you hear the first sound to the first image, you feel transported. And with the epic scope and doing it in CinemaScope, we really felt CG fit as the main palette. But we both love hand-drawn 2D animation. That's where that's what we grew up on. And a lot of it has to do with that style, that expressiveness that's believable but not real, and we wanted that, so we wanted to make sure that stayed in the film. We did particularly for Anna and Elsa, because they have such, as sisters, they have such an emotional connection. We also did for Anna and Hans, to work that romantic side of it, and they sang together. So we tried whenever we felt emotionally we needed it.
And we would do it both ways. We would bring them in separately, but then also bring them in together. And there's something magical that happens when you get the two actors working off of each other that was really special.
I don't know.